Okay, question 14. The function h of x, which is graphed below, and the function g of x equals 2 times the absolute value of x plus 4, subtract 3, are given. Which statements about these functions are true? So, I already have the graph of h of x, but I really would like to graph g of x on the same graph so I can compare what's going on. So let's go to our TI Inspire graphing calculator. Home screen, new doc, say no to drugs, and add page. So we want absolute value. A, B, watch what happens. When I type the S, we go from an italics to a block print. That's because the calculator knows what absolute value is. So I'm going to type in the x plus 4 in parentheses, and then the minus 3 that's not inside the absolute value will be off to the side. And this is what our graph looks like. So now I want to find the key features of the graph. First one I care about, menu, analyze the minimum. The lowest point on that graph is -4, -3. That's the vertex. That's the first point I want to put on this graph over here. Now, to find the other points, menu, 5, 3. Set our trace step to 1 and say OK. Now, when I do menu 5, 1, I can get all the rest of the points on this graph. If I go to the left, the furthest left edge I can get is -8, 1. I'll take it. Now, the furthest right I can go is when x equals 4. And when x equals 4, y equals 5. That's the last point I need for this graph. So now when I can compare these graphs one above the other, I can evaluate what they're saying, and it's pretty obvious. So you don't have to graph this on the paper for the grader. You're doing it for you to help organize your information and make this question easier. So Roman numeral 1 says g of x has a lower minimum value than h of x. If you notice the vertex of h of x, g of x's vertex is directly below it, so therefore 1 is absolutely true. Roman numeral 2 says, for all values of x, h of x is less than g of x. Well, that's silly because h of x is above g of x everywhere that I'm looking, so that statement is blatantly false. Finally, the third one says, for any value of x, g of x never equals h of x. Look at the way these slopes are designed. No matter what, these rays coming out from the vertex are never going to go towards h of x because h of x is narrower than g of x. Therefore, there is no place on either one of these functions where they're going to intersect. So choice 3 is absolutely correct. There is no place on either graph where they're going to meet. So now when we look at our answers, choice 1 says 1 and 2. 1's good, but 2 is not, so that didn't work. Choice 3 says 2 and 3. And choice 4 says all 3. So obviously, the correct answer to this question is choice number 2. 1 and 3 are correct, but 2 is not. And that's our answer for question number 14.